ESPN's ratings have been declining over the last year. They have become increasingly known for their support of anthem kneelers as well as their implementation of anti-President Trump employees. Well, it seems like as much as things have changed in the new year, many things have stayed the same. ESPN employee Katie Nolan recently insulted President Trump by making disparaging remarks about him. Nolan recently appeared on Viceland's talk show Desus and Mero. The 30-year-old sports journalist called the president a f***ing stupid person. She attempted to excuse her actions by saying she was on medicine for a case of the flu. Despite the fact that she said it on a talk show and not on social media like Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, ESPN is nonetheless taking action against her. A representative for the network issued a statement saying, "We have looked into the totality of Nolan's comments, they were inappropriate, and we have addressed it with her." Fox News reported. The Nolan brouhaha is just the latest in a litany of bad press for the sports network. Longtime ESPN president John Skipper suddenly announced in December that he was resigning from the network due to a substance addiction problem. A bombshell report, also published in December, described the sports channel's culture as one of hostility and sexual misconduct toward women. The report by the Boston Globe specifically named several men employed by or affiliated with ESPN as being subjects of harassment complaints, ABC reported. Nolan, who was hired by ESPN in October after a number of years of hosting garbage time on Fox Sports, later tweeted that she had the flu during the interview. On Thursday, ESPN announced Nolan would host a pregame show prior to an NFL playoff game on the network on Saturday. Nolan's comments come less than 3 months after SportsCenter anchor Demel Hill tweeted in a reply to other Twitter users that President Trump is a white supremacist who has largely surrounded himself with other white supremacists. Hill's tweet prompted a response from both President Trump and White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who suggested that Hill be fired for her comments. ESPN apologized for the tweets, and Hill was later suspended for a series of unrelated tweets. Following the Hill controversy, ESPN released a set of social media guidelines for its employees. While Nolan was warned by her superiors, she was not suspended or fired from her job as a result of her actions. When Hill did something similar, she was warned, and then when she disobeyed the warning, she was suspended. But there is no indication they would get fired. The Washington Post had a unique take on it all, stating, in December, ESPN's front-facing employees attended a mandatory meeting at the company's headquarters in Bristol, Connecticut, to discuss the network's future and review its new policies on social media and political commentary. ESPN is a journalistic organization, not a political organization. We should do nothing to undermine that position, Kevin Morita, editor-in-chief of ESPN's undefeated imprint, told the crowd. ESPN's focus is sports. By and large, we are not experts on politics, healthcare policies, terrorism, commerce. That's not what we do. Our audience is not looking for our opinions on the general news of the day, added Morita, who was a longtime writer and editor at The Washington Post before joining ESPN. And believe me, I get it. It can sometimes be difficult to control impulses or ignore trolls, but that's what we're called to do for each other. News outlets have been taking an increasingly commentating role in the last year since President Trump took office. Journalists have become pundits and commentators versus people who are meant to report on the facts. Sports outlets like the NFL and ESPN are taking on a political role, even though their line of work has to do with athletes and sports and nothing to do with politics. It is why people are watching ESPN and NFL games less and less over time, because people are getting sick of it. They want people and journalists to stick to their lane, pick it, and stay there. However, they have been refusing to do that, which is why people are getting upset. Quite frankly, these networks have nobody to blame but themselves. We are now living in a world where the twilight zone exists. Pundits are reporters and reporters are pundits who do not understand what facts are. Which is another reason why people don't trust the media anymore, because they don't trust it to report on the facts but instead their opinions. It is a shame and not what the free press was meant for. Share if you agree that ESPN should hold their so-called reporters more accountable for the words that come out of their mouth. Follow us on Facebook at Freedom Daily.